Hola chicos! Now how to improve your Spanish, and when I say improve your Spanish, I mean transitioning from a beginner over to intermediate. The first step is being able to use compound phrases comfortably in a conversation in the él, ella, nosotros, or ellos forms. So that's what we're going to learn today, but first, what is a compound phrase? I'm going to give you some examples, but remember we did go through this in a previous video in the yo and the tú forms using these three powerful verbs, querer, tener, and poder. Por ejemplo, ¿quieres estudiar conmigo? Tengo que aprender más verbos en español. ¿Me puedes ayudar? Let's now practice the other forms or conjugations of these particular verbs. Now, yes, they can be a little confusing because they are irregular. To help, I'll leave the conjugations in the description box for you below. Now, let's start off with the verb querer. The conjugations for the verb querer, first up, el or ella form is quiere. So quiere. The nosotros form, we've got queremos. So queremos. And then finally, the ellos or ellas form, we've got quieren. So quieren. Let's now start with a sentence. So first example, my friend wants to go to the beach. Mi amigo quiere ir a la playa. So mi amigo quiere ir a la playa. So remember with those compound phrases, to make it easy, we can simply conjugate that first verb, which is querer. We can then add on the other verb, ir, to go. In this case, unconjugated, making it a little bit easier to form sentences. And then we just add on the other bits of the sentence we want to make. Let me give you another example. My friend Juan wants to study with us. Mi amigo Juan quiere estudiar con nosotros. So, mi amigo Juan quiere estudiar con nosotros. So you can see again, we simply conjugate the first verb querer, again, add on the second verb, in this case estudiar, in its unconjugated form, and then we just finish off the sentence with the other words we want to make. Cool, so I think that's starting to make sense, but this time let's try it in the nosotros form. So this time, we want to try the food. Queremos probar la comida. Cool, so I think you're starting to get it, but to really take your level up towards that intermediate level, you've just got to really internalize the nosotros, el or ella, and ellos forms of these particular verbs, and also obviously just keep improving your vocabulary as well, so that you can start to form more sentences. Let me give you another example, but this time in the ellos form. So, they want to travel more this year. Quieren viajar más este año. So, quieren viajar más este año. Great work, everyone. Now, let's try these sentences, but this time using the verbs tener and poder. And don't forget, if you are getting any value from this video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Let's now make those same sentences we made before, but this time using the verb tener. So it shouldn't be too difficult. We just simply have to substitute the verb. Por ejemplo, my friend Juan has to study with us. Mi amigo Juan tiene que estudiar con nosotros. So mi amigo Juan tiene que estudiar con nosotros. So remember that rule with the verb tener. Whenever you're expressing that you have to do something or he has to do something, you always have to put tener que, and then we simply add on the unconjugated verb straight after that. Let's try that other example. My friend has to go to the beach. Mi amigo tiene que ir a la playa. So mi amigo tiene que ir a la playa. Good work. So let's try that example we used before in the nosotros form this time. We have to try the food. Tenemos que probar la comida. So tenemos que probar la comida Cool, so it's pretty simple because as I said before, we are just using the exact same sentences we used before, but we're just swapping the verbs that we're using this time, using the verb tener. The reason we're doing this, of course, is just to really internalize the verb conjugations so we can get comfortable using them in the other forms. So this time using the ellos or ellas form, they have to travel more this year. Tienen que viajar más este año. Tienen que viajar más este año. Next up, we're going to do the same sentences again, but this time using the verb poder. And this time, I want you to translate these sentences for me over into Spanish. Now, I'm going to give you 3 or 4 seconds in between to give you enough time to translate them over. If you do need more time, of course, feel free to hit the pause button. And also, I would encourage you to practice saying these out loud as well. Before we start those exercises, here are the conjugations for you if you need them. We've got the él or ella form, which is puede, so puede. The nosotros form, which again is irregular, we've got podemos, so podemos. And then finally, we've got pueden, so pueden, the ellos form. So first exercise, translate this over for me to Spanish. My friend Juan can study with us. So you'd say, mi amigo Juan puede estudiar con nosotros. So mi amigo Juan puede estudiar con nosotros. Next up, my friend can go to the beach. Cool, so this time you'd say, mi amigo puede ir a la playa. So mi amigo puede ir a la playa. Next one, we can try the food. Awesome. This time you'd say, podemos probar la comida. So podemos probar la comida. Next one, they can travel more this year. Nice one. So this time you'd say, pueden viajar más este año. So pueden viajar más este año. Now everyone, the next step is to practice. So practice writing out some examples using other verbs. You can also leave a comment in the comment section as well if you want to practice some examples. Also, I'd encourage you to, of course, practice these in a conversation as well, and that will really help internalize these so that you can actually get comfortable in using these in a conversation, and then that's how we start to progress towards that intermediate level of Spanish. As always, if I can help with anything else, feel free to leave another comment in the comment section, but I will see you in the next one. Hasta pronto.